On the surface, we have another generic space-themed 4X game for you, but let's mix in a gameplay mechanic that is so out there, so different that, it should just not work with 4X, but somehow it does. And on top of that, we have a little splattering of a mini campaign. What I have for you is my Kickstarter campaign of the week. It is ARCS by Cole Wehrle. So let's go check out this campaign. The game opens in the final days of a decaying empire. A fearsome blight has overwhelmed the outer systems. As the last imperial regents, players must balance their duty to an ancient order against their own ambitions. Will you find opportunity in this crisis? So that's the backstory. Now here's the campaign page. $1 million Australian, over $760,000 US, over 7,000 backers, 20 days to go. This campaign isn't even a day old yet. That's incredible numbers. Now, this campaign page is tiny. There's not much to it, so it won't take us long to go through it. So we'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at the rulebook, but also stay tuned to the end. I'll give you my thoughts on who this game is actually for and other comparison games for you. 3 to 4 players, that's the first thing to note. If you play with a partner or solo, this game can only play at 3 to 4 players, so you're gonna need that game group to be able to play it. Now let's look at the game board here. 4-panel game board sitting in the middle there. On the right hand side here, this is gonna be your influence markers and some extra cards. Now what do these cards do? They go onto your game board. Every person's going to start off with a game board that's going to be exactly the same for each person, and throughout the course of the game you're going to be upgrading it by buying these cards and placing them on your board, giving you stronger abilities. Obviously by the end of the game everyone's going to have totally different asymmetric abilities, and that is what people love about Cole Wehrle games. On the left hand side here is objective cards. You're going to have round objective cards, you're going to have end game objective cards, and you're also going to have private personal objective cards, and that's going to be the main way you're going to get your points, and that's how you win the game. Now straight into it, $60 US, and we get the core game here. So this is going to be the Meeple version, but it's got everything you need to play ARCS. Now you're also going to get here an explore pack, so this is just a nice little bonus one, extra cards for backing the Kickstarter. Now $100, this gets you the Blighted Reach campaign expansion. So to turn this game into just a core game into a campaign game, a 3-game campaign game, this is what you're going to need. So if you know Oath at all, Cole Wehrle turned Oath into a campaign style game where when you finish each game, the game state, the game board's going to be different, and that's going to be your starting point for your next game. And that's how this campaign is going to work. And again, that will happen over the course of 3 games. Now, there's also going to add some story and some narrative to it, and just something a little bit extra to give you replayability. The last one we have here is $150, and this is going to be the miniatures. So that Cole Wehrle artwork turned into 3D with beautiful minis, and they're washed. I think that's a pretty good deal, $150 for that. Now, Meeple University's done a how to play. This is a 5-minute video. The reason this is a 5-minute video because it's quite an easy rules overhead at the start. So a lot of Cole's games are quite complex. They're quite, a lot of rules, a lot to sort of take in, whereas this is a little bit different. He's starting off a lot easier for people to get into it at the start. So because everyone has the same abilities at the start, it's going to be, as the game unfolds, you're going to learn new abilities, and by the end of it, it's going to be a lot more complex, but at the start, a lot less rules for you to digest. And this is going to be the main action system. This is going to be the trick-taking element. So what's going to happen is these trick-taking cards here are going to have suits, 4 suits, plus cards numbered 1 to 5. And what they're going to have is these icons on here. And let's have a look at the rulebook here. These are going to be your production, aggression, construction, and mobilization. These are going to be all your different 4X things that you can do. So you're going to be extracting resources, you're going to be out there exploring, moving around, you're going to be attacking, you're going to be doing all these great things that you know and love in 4X games. But the way they do it is, have a look at this. So instead of saying you have 3 actions, they've just drawn on here 3 cranes. So you're going to know, if you see 3 cranes, you're going to have 3 construction actions, which means you can do 2 build and a research, 2 research and a build, 3 research. You have 3 different construction actions. So that is how that system works. Now, Like trick taking, what you're gonna do is there's gonna be a lead card. Now you need to beat that lead card. If you do, you get bonus actions. So here we've got a 3 here, and if you can beat that suit and that number, you're gonna be able to get a bonus action. If you can't beat it, that's totally fine. You can also play your card upside down, and you're gonna be able to get 1 lead action as just a nicety, just for, just being nice. And dramatic battles. This is the next thing. We have 3 different colored dice. Blue, orange, and red, and they're all going to be different. So again, let's go back to the rulebook and let's scroll down and have a look here. And here we go. There's 3 different dice: Assault, Bombard, and Raid. Now, Bombard is going to be your your gentler one, where you're going to be able to do it. There's going to be a few little attack symbols on there, but nothing that's going to damage you back. Whereas if you go to the Assault, a lot more of a risk-reward approach. So a lot more attack symbols, but then you're also going to have ones that are going to damage you. The last one is the Raid. When you see this diamond symbol, that means you're actually stealing the opponent's cards, and this could be massive. So again, a lot of risk-reward because they're going to deal damage back to you. But it depends on where you are in the game, what you want to do. Assault, Bombard, or Raid. So that's the system. You roll dice, you pick which dice you want to roll, you roll them, and it's a very simple attack. Now, innovative campaign. So the original board, 4-panel board, now this campaign board is a 6-panel board, and just going to give you some more planets, more things to explore, and again help with that narrative, narrative story to keep you going there. And look, that's pretty much it. First impressions there, a whole bunch of people just saying what they think of it, some streaming schedule. Download the rulebook, 20-page rulebook, nice good read there, and a print and play. They did this with the Root campaign all those years ago, and I love the fact they're bringing back a print and play, keeping it old school. I love it. Tabletop simulator if you're into that, and now shipping and taxes. Here we go. Look at this. Old school Excel spreadsheet. Absolutely love it. $24 postage to the US, 12, 16, 18, depending on where you are in Europe. Look, you can see your prices there. I love a good Excel spreadsheet. And that's pretty much the campaign. About Us, they've won a whole bunch of awards. Everyone loves Root. It's sort of, it's sold bloody, I have no idea, but it's sold a lot. And Oath has been very well received as well. And here's the team. Patrick Leader, that's going to be your publisher from Leader Games. But the man of the moment here, Cole Wehrle, he's the designer, and Cole Wehrle, the illustrator. So that's the campaign page. Like I said, super quick, super simple. You're gonna know already if this game is for you because you probably already backed in that first day. So for everyone else, first things first, it's got to be that 3 to 4 players. You're going to have a game group that you're going to be able to play with, on a semi-regular basis, to get the most out of that campaign. So if you don't have someone that you can play with regularly, then forget about the campaign, just get the core game. Now, if you want the minis or the meeples, that's completely up to your budget. Now, this is a Space 4X game, but this is going to be a 2 to 3 hour game. So it's sort of in the middle. So what we have is your big, 8-hour games. If you're into those sort of games, this one might just not be, might not be enough for you, not enough crunch. Then on the other scale, we have Last Light. Last Light, it was a Space 4X game that launched on Gamefound just recently, and that plays in 1 hour. So there's your sort of left and right of ARC there. So you've got like a 1 hour 4X game through to like 8, 10, whatever hours. You're gonna know those sort of games you want. So this is gonna sit right in the middle. The other one I wanted to talk about that sort of sits in that middle pocket there is Voidfall. Voidfall was also on crowdfunding recently. I think the late pledges might still be open. Look, this is going to add in Euro mechanics. So this one added trick taking. Voidfall is going to add other Euro mechanics, again, to help people ease into that 4X genre with something that makes them feel a little bit more at home. So a lot more mechanics to make you feel just at ease, I guess, with the general gameplay. So who's this game for? This game is for people who, firstly, they liked Root, they like Oath, they like that style of art, because that style of art is quite unique. So you're going to know if you're going to like that style of art. But it's also for someone who wants to get into the 4X genre, but just wants something unique, wants something different, and doesn't want something where, you're going to lose the whole day to it. So you can play a night, it's 2 to 3 hours, and you've got your 4X fix. So for everyone else, like I said, my preference would be Voidfall. That's the one for me that I'm more intrigued in. I like that Tool artwork. Again, I like those Euro mechanics. But, you know, I think this is a pretty close second. You know, again, very unique mechanics, very unique gameplay, and I really like the action system, the attacking system in this. Those 3 different dice, I think, is super unique. So I think there's going to be a whole core lot of players who like that style of 4X, or who wants to get into 4X, but just doesn't want the big overhead of the big 4X games. So look, hopefully, you know, you enjoyed this sort of Kickstarter review here, my pick of the week, ARCS. Look, if you like what I did, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. I'm Hoax. This is Board Game Baggers. Till next time, laters.